Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 139 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also sometimes known as...
The Naughty Couple.
Hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
Wow, what a fantastic show we've got lined up for you today. We have got...
No, wait. Before you say anything, I just need to let you know, how long has it taken me to groom these two?
I think we were still in shorts.
It's taken so long to get these pair on here.
It has. We've had to groom them and get them on our crew.
We might not actually let them go.
Our newest members of the V2V crew.
Yes.
And we're going to introduce them to you today.
Yes.
So if you come to the parties, you'll see these two in the corner. They
may even give you a tour.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I could do one of those. Sometimes I still get lost. So... in the room today, we have Kat and Chris, the Mother Truckers. Yay! Hello, guys. Hi. Welcome to the madness that is...
We finally got you here. Just before we went live, it was quite interesting because I was saying you were probably slightly disappointed the fact that you sit in this pokey little room that we do the recording in. And
you're spoiling the magic.
I know, I'm so sorry, but it is. It's not as glam as it probably sounds.
When you know Santa imports his stuff from China, it's just not as romantic.
Studio off Temu.
Yes, it is.
It is. The whole thing was built in Temu. So before we get into the meat and introduce, and find out all the naughtiness about the Mother Truckers, I've got a little message from a little man on Fab.
Rightio.
He sent me a message and he says, Mr. N, have you heard about the new swingers club that's exclusively for paraplegics?
Right.
Why have you gone quiet?
I'm just thinking, who are we going to offend?
Oh, everybody. He says, have you heard about the new swingers club that's exclusive for paraplegics? It's crawling with pussy.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And that's right. He doesn't want to give his name. He says, I haven't got 12 inches, but it does smell like a foot.
Oh,
there you go, 2 for the price of 1. Welcome.
Please don't ring in and complain.
To episode. Oh yeah, no, ring in and complain. I like complaints.
No, don't say that. You're nutter.
Episode 139 starts off with a ball of complaints. So here we are.
Yeah.
And it feels like a V2V party in here. All we need is some water in the middle. We could be in the hot tub.
We could be. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, guys,
welcome.
How long have you... Where should we start?
Well, exactly. It feels weird because obviously we've known you guys for quite a while now.
Yeah.
I think we met...
It was June.
We started this.
Yeah, June.
Last year?
Last year, yeah.
June last year?
It feels longer than that.
Is that it? So
yeah.
What was where was your first club visit ever?
At Libs.
Really?
Yeah, for the summer solstice.
60s.
Yeah.
Party.
Yes, we won't mention that. Somebody called me something that night, which I haven't really recovered from.
I will tell you the story of this. So Mrs. N had white blonde hair at the time, and she wore sunglasses.
They were pink Love Heart sunglasses.
Pink Love Heart sunglasses, and you wore... What did you wear for the 60s?
It was a very flowy white embroidered dress. It was. I had lots of compliments until the photograph came out.
And I think the dress was kind of tight around you, so it looked a little bit shell suity. So white hair, white hair, glasses. Mrs. N got called Jimmy Savile.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
So there's me having this beautiful photograph taken, thinking that I looked all angelic and everything, and somebody went, "Oh, don't she look like Jimmy Savile?"
How rude.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, they never got invited to the party after that.
Yeah, that was that.
That was a good party.
It was really good.
It was a really good party.
It was a lot of fun.
We got everybody on the dance floor that night.
Yeah.
All the crew on the dance floor. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, live now, there is a rule that if you are V2V crew, you have to get on the dance floor at a certain time at the party.
I've got 2 left feet.
Doesn't matter, love. Doesn't matter.
I can't dance. You dad dance.
Oh, Dad dance. I need a few beers as well in between.
Oh, that's all right. We don't care. Any dancing will do. But it's a rule from Mrs. N that the crew have to be on the dance floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I never obey that rule either.
It's funny how you always seem to disappear somewhere.
I'm always busy. I'm always busy doing things. So that was your first party. Had you done any private meets or anything before that?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. We'd never been to a club. Nothing. Even thought about it.
So what got you there? How did you get there?
Well, you always went. I've always had that. What's it called?
A fantasy.
Fancy, yeah.
Yeah.
About having another woman with us.
Okay.
So I'd Kate to go out and say, look, if you go out up the town, find somebody, come back, and away we go,
MFF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that never really materialised. So we just, that was it, So then I happened to come across the podcast.
Oh my God.
So, and I listened.
I'm so sorry.
Another libel coming
Still
on.
here. So it's good.
Yeah, so I listened to the podcast and I was like, well, this sounds a bit of, you get the stereotypical of, it's keys in a bowl and all that jargon, and it's like, but I actually listened and I thought, yeah, this is, so I said to you on the night time, have a listen to that, what do you think? And I was like, well, what do you think? I said, well, let's go, try and get our names on the list and we'll go to it. So, okay then. So I was like,
that's very brave.
That's an incredibly brave thing, because
obviously we didn't know anybody or
No.
anything,
Yeah.
so we found where Leeds was and everything, got ready, trundled down, we sat in the car a little bit and thinking, right.
I was so nervous. I was a wreck.
Really?
was there a
Yeah.
queue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as bad of a queue.
No, it
There's so
was.
much-
There's been worse.
Yeah, we've had worse queues that we've waited in, yeah. But yeah, I was an absolute nervous wreck. I think I didn't settle until about halfway through.
No, but we said, we got to lose. We can walk in and go, now be safe for us.
Yeah.
And walk back out.
Yeah.
What we got to lose?
And that's
Nothing.
That's a really good attitude to have, though, isn't it?
It is true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, apart from when we lock the doors, obviously.
Yeah, you cannot leave now.
I think
You're ours.
we left with massive smiles on our
Yeah.
faces, and we was like, you know
We
what,
stopped till the end.
this
All
has
the
been
way to 2.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning.
It's just really liberating. There's no judgment from anyone. Everybody's just doing their own thing, and it's like, yeah, it's fab.
That first couple of hours where everybody's chatting and we were just like, it's just like a normal club night. Then come 10:30 and everybody starts dressing down. I'm like, oh, this is all right.
So do you think the podcast helped with that? Because you kind of almost knew
Yeah, we
how the
kind of-
evening would go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was like, it's very social, and then people dress down, and then people
Yeah.
play if they
And
want to.
the whole point of you haven't got a play, you haven't got to do anything, you can just do what you want to do that night. It's
Yeah,
down
no
to you.
pressure, is there?
And
Yeah.
we never did anything with anybody. We just played ourselves and we was in the big room, which for us was a massive,
That
massive
is
step.
a big thing.
That is a big thing to go in that big room on your first
Yeah.
trip
Yeah,
in.
and we was on the VIP bed.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
First.
Yay, well done.
I mean, we've got no issues with
We
being
get-
naked,
no.
have we? I mean, when we go on holiday, we'll scope out the nude
nearest nude
beaches.
beach, yeah.
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 I suppose the difference is when you're on the beach, everyone pretends to be like not sexual. Yeah, everyone's like having a sneaky look, whereas like the big bed, you could just go, interesting.
Yeah. This is why you wear mirrored glasses on holiday. So he's like scared in case I look and I can't see where he's looking. I'm just used to him now. I just call him a pervert all the time.
No, I'm not a pervert, I'm an admirer.
I like that. That's good.
So after obviously that first time you didn't play with anybody, you were just with each other and stuff, what was the conversation like on the way home?
Oh God, we was ecstatic.
Yeah,
It was like,
we
we'd
were
definitely do this again.
Yeah.
It was just not, take away playing with anyone else. It's like how we feel as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember who did your tour?
Yeah.
Barney, Squirrel.
Did he?
yeah.
Very good.
He dresses Austin Powers.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did,
of course.
So yeah, he's a good tour.
Barney's a great.
Yeah, and they're great hosts, amazing hosts.
We love the sexy squirrels.
Yeah.
I did have to apologise then. I'm sorry, but with all these questions that I've asked about everything and anything, and he was like, "No, it's fine. This is what it's about. You need to know."
They prefer it. They've said it before.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so lucky with the crew that we have, which is a reason why we wanted you guys to join our crew as well, because you get it, you understand it, and obviously with most of our events are geared for newbies as well as people that have, been in the hobby for a while. You help settle their nerves because you understand it, and it's like, well, we've been there, we know what you're going through because we've all been there anyway, and that's what makes perfect crew member for us.
Yeah, absolutely. You never ever forget your first tour.
No.
I mean, when we're getting in the queue ready for libs or leaving the hotel, I still get really, really nervous.
Me too.
Like I'm a newbie all over again.
Yeah.
I still get really nervous, and so I'll go to the toilet, I'll spray my calming spray, don't I?
It says spray twice under the tongue in case
I'm spraying it down the back of my throat.
Feeling it.
I'd drink it if I could get the top over. But yeah, I always get really, really nervous, and I don't know why. I've got nothing to be nervous of.
I know. It's weird because obviously we've been doing the events for just over 2 years now, haven't we? I still get really, really nervous.
I think it's normal.
Do you think it's like because you associate that place with nerves, it's a good nervous energy, isn't it? It's not like a negative.
It is a good nervous energy.
But I wonder if it's because it's like a repetitive thing. Like you know that it's like, oh, you're excited and you don't know what's going to happen. And I wonder if it's like because you keep that place you associate with that feeling, so you always get it every time you go.
I mean, obviously we talked about we went to VA, didn't we, the other week? Oh my God, I was so nervous going to a completely new club that we've never been to before. I literally felt like a newbie stood there like that, just like don't know what to do.
Yeah. And that was, and the surprise was we bumped into loads of people we knew, but we still felt like newbies in the corner.
Yeah.
The club was amazing and people were like really friendly and lovely, but you still feel like the newbies.
It's funny how that kind of disappears as the night goes on, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you find your flow, it kind of, you forget all about that bit, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't get nervous. I think the only time I got was that first night, and then once I knew what it's all about and that, I just get on with it.
Yeah.
I think you deal with it a lot better than me. I'm a nervous wreck. I worry all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a nightmare.
The first couple of hours in when you're socialising, we struggled a little bit because obviously everything being so new and everybody knows people, and it's a bit awkward to try and strike a conversation up when you don't know what you're on about and all that. So we kind of sat down on the sofas, didn't we? And then Saucy comes steaming over.
The quiet
get
one.
Up. Get talking, get mingling, because you'll get lost. And we were like, okay, yes.
He's like, yes, sir.
He wasn't wearing his Cardinals outfit on that occasion, was he? No.
I can't remember what he was dressed as that night, actually, for the Swinging 60s.
Swinging 60s, I can't remember.
I think he had like a bright.
He
Must
had
have
a
had a
bright
bright
shirt,
shirt on.
yeah.
I can't remember.
The cardinal is just etched into my memory forever.
It is most people's. Although I have seen his outfit for tomorrow night's.
He won't show me.
He won't show you. I've actually had a sneak preview for the Cosmic Connections evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be sweating.
Now I've heard someone's got a very similar outfit.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
You couldn't need a cold shower.
Definitely, yeah. But it will be for the right reason.
So after your first visit then, guys, did you then talk about Chris with you? Your fantasy was always female, male.
Yeah.
Has that changed at all? Have you managed to live the fantasy? Has your dynamics changed in any way? Have you got other fantasies now that you...
That's 3 hours worth of questions.
Sorry.
So we just went the first time just to gauge what it was like. And
We
I
did
think
get an offer of somebody wanted to come over and play that we spoke to, and like we see them quite at a few events as well.
Yeah.
And we was like, no, I'm okay. And it's like, and then we had a message the next day, and we just like, thanks for all it, and it was like great. But there was like we knew you was new. We'd have loved to play, but
Yeah.
we respected
It's a lot to take in.
that,
isn't it?
which we
Very
found was really good, because there's nobody that come and pressuring you all the while. Can I play? Can I play? Can I play?
Exactly.
And
really respectful.
Yeah, it's getting that point across to especially newbies who, a lot of them feel very intimidated about going to a club. And I did for the very first time, and it was all, I know, my eyes were on the floor most of it, because I thought if I look at somebody, they're going to think I want sex. And it's not like that at all.
Why would you go to a
No,
swingers club wanting sex? Ridiculous.
I mean, we went into it and we thought, oh, we're just going to play together because nobody's going to be interested, or, you know. But we didn't really know what to expect. But then we started talking about what we want and this, that, and the other.
The fantasy of the two girls we've never done yet.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So that dynamic changed more or less. Not straight away, but as we went to Libs more often, and we kind of got chatting with couples and stuff, and that's the route we've gone down now to as players of four. And
yeah, I like playing as a four.
It's a very different dynamic, isn't it? You get chatting with people, and you get a lot more sort of social interaction when there's four.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
When there's just three of you, whether it's male, female, or male, female, it's very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think with the three, I just worry about somebody being left out or sidelined. Whereas
I think it does depend on what that type of dynamic is.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you've got people that like to be cuckolded, they don't mind being the ones standing in the corner, kind of thing. But
Mrs. N's off already. Off you go.
See you later, mate. No, I didn't mean it like that. But some people's dynamics is that they don't mind. That's part of their dynamic, that they like that.
Yeah.
But it's good that, you do learn what works for you.
we've learned quite a lot, haven't we?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we prefer playing as with another couple. And our boundaries have changed from play to play at times, hasn't it?
How did you feel, Chris? Because obviously, like, you were originally like male, female, and then to suddenly sort of consider that full swap, was that something that you sort of think, no, I'll be okay with that, or did you actually have concerns about it, or?
I don't think so, because we went in for another woman, but then if we was all playing together, and I wanted to see what it would make me feel like if we had another guy with you, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Rather than think, hang on a minute, that's my wife, you're touching my wife, I don't like that. It was kind of, I enjoy that, and I like then listening to how she was being pleasured and stuff, which was more of a turn on for me as well. Again, it was like, that's something I never thought that I'd enjoy or anything, but I do.
It's the environment, isn't it? It's the minute you know, because we were the same when we first played. Obviously, it was at home, and I wasn't sure. And I was like, I don't know how I will feel. But because the environment was right, you just instantly just relax.
I think if you get the right person or the right people,
Yeah.
it makes a massive difference.
Definitely.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
We went to Libs the one night and we just went for one of the nights and we hadn't arranged to meet anybody or anything, so we ended up having a swap with a couple that met off the cuff in Libs. And
because it was just about us. We was about to go home, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to go to the toilet before we leave. And then I met this girl in the toilet, started talking.
and I'm thinking, I'm sat now in the bar waiting. Come on, where is that? And then,
About half an hour in the toilet
and then it
talking
comes
to this
strutting out
girl.
with this little blonde girl. I was like, oh, yeah. And,
Surprise!
yeah. And then we did end up playing.
It was just soft swap, and it was really good because I like the dynamic of like two couples, just closeness and mingling.
Yeah.
Like I like that
Yeah.
rather than like a whole separate kind of thing. I don't like the separate part.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
to
not
be
one
close.
for that. I know there are couples out there that they don't mind it.
Yeah.
They quite like it that
If
way.
it's for you, it's for you,
exactly,
you know?
it's not something that I would feel comfortable with. I know
No.
that because the same thing as you, Kat. You feed off each other almost.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You're watching your other half. If they're enjoying themselves, that gets you excited, and vice versa. And it's really good.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
After we was on the drive home, we talked about it and debriefed and everything, and it was like, it was all right, but it wasn't
I
great.
think because we didn't. We came into this thinking, okay, we're just gonna meet random people, just fuck,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah.
I can't do
But we
that.
couldn't, and that was
I
off that.
can't
I was like,
do
we
it.
don't want to do that no more. That ain't
But I
for
think
us.
that is one of the massive misconceptions of what the naughty hobby is about. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of vanilla people automatically assume that you shag anything that moves.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
And it isn't about
It's
that.
not. No.
I think for guys, I think it's the biggest wake-up call. I think Chris has hit something really interesting there. That as guys, it's like, oh yeah, that's sexy over there, that's sexy. And you think, yeah, But you suddenly realise you learn so much about yourself in as much as, no, not every situation is sexy. And you could have a situation that initially you thought was like, oh, this is going to be hot.
Yeah.
But then in reality is so different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've come away with exactly the same thing and gone, yeah, that wasn't so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes if people aren't necessarily engaged in the moment, it can be a little
That's
bit,
so true.
Yeah.
can't it?
We've had that, yeah.
We've sat and watched people before, and half the time they look bored to tears, and it's like, that's so not sexy because you
Yeah.
don't look like you're enjoying yourself. So
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying watching you because you look really bored.
Yeah.
So you have to have that, and when you do find that connection and everybody is engaged, it is the most amazing
Yeah.
experience.
Since that play, and we said, look, we don't want to do that off the cuff again, and we started to message people and get that connection with the couple first, and then we've had some amazing plays with couples that we've had socials with and stuff. So when it comes to the play side, we're already all comfortable with each other because we've had socials and messages and stuff, and it just makes that play then even hotter.
See, I really struggled with it for the first few months. I absolutely hated it.
Really?
Hated it. And we nearly came out of it in, I think it was about October, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. It's just, I don't want to do it. I'm not getting any enjoyment from it,
Was that just the kind of
Just
the randomness?
Yeah,
and not
because
knowing?
I'm very up and down. I'm like Jekyll and Hyde. I'm neither here nor there. I don't know what goes on in my head.
It's not just me.
So I don't know what goes on in between my ears here, but it's not a lot. But yeah, I think it was October time, beginning of October. We'd been talking to this couple for a while. I mean, we'd seen them before. She's beautiful, and you fancied her from the off, ain't ya?
Yeah.
And we met them at a club, and we had the most amazing play. And from then it switched. Something clicked in me, and I thought, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I want. And it was thanks to them pair, like kind of showing
carried on.
me
Yeah.
this is how it's supposed to be. Well, for me anyway.
Yeah.
Did you talk about things you liked sexually before you actually played, or was it?
Yeah, because we kind of had like a group chat and separate chats, and
That's a huge thing.
yeah,
Because sometimes we've done the same thing when you've just met people and you don't really know what they like. And when there's 4 of you, I sometimes feel a little bit lost. In as much as, you think, okay, am I doing this right? There's stuff going on over there as well, which I'm trying to watch as well. So I'm not like ADHD. I can't cope with everything that's going on. And you do. You think it's going to be amazing, but you're right. When it's all totally spontaneous, sometimes it's not the
It's
best.
not. I mean, we've had times, it's very well documented about my nerve endings and the problems that I've had. Fortunately, things are really good lately, which is amazing. But there are times when we've randomly met people sort of off the cuff, like you say, and I've had to explain it.
yeah,
And it's not their fault. So you can't expect somebody to understand. But when you tell somebody something and then they just kind of ignore it, and it's like I've had that happen to me a couple of times, and it just ruins the whole thing because it's just like I can't relax and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Because you're not listening to what I need.
yeah,
I'm interested to ask Kat if in the beginning, because I know I went through this when we first sort of entered into the naughty hobby. I went through so many different emotions of why does he want me to play with other people?
yeah.
Did you have a little bit of
Yeah,
that?
I thought, what am I not good enough? Like, why do you want to go and fuck someone else? Am I not good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, but all an array of emotions just come out here. And like I said, I'm neither here nor there. So 1 minute I can be up, 1 minute I can be down, and he gets the brunt of it, poor thing.
You like living a dangerous life. You like living dangerously.
But how do you navigate that though, Chris?
We just talk about it as
we
well,
talk
don't
a lot.
we?
I mean, before we come into this hobby, I used to clam up, wouldn't talk to you, wouldn't do it. So it's opened such a book for us of like talking and communication, everything that we do, everything's open. We've got an open phone policy, so if either one of us wants to check who we've been talking to or what we've been talking about, it's there. There's nothing to be hidden, nothing at all.
Our communication's gone from like 10% to like, I'd say 99.9.
That's beautiful.
Well, a lot of
that's
coming
beautiful.
like into this has changed a hell of a lot for us
Yeah,
because we both struggle with body confidence.
yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, me and Mr. Anderson, my chin's just hit the floor.
I'm just having my jaws having a spasm.
Like, I can get nude on a beach in a foreign country, it's fine, because no one's probably ever going to see me again. But yeah, I've always had, like, issues
And
with my body.
We'd hardly ever send a photo to each other.
Really?
Because we've been together 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah.
we're using this to reignite anything, because
No,
it's not
no, not
like
at all,
that.
yeah.
We just looked at him, we've done more or less what we do sexually, and
Yeah.
this is a bit of fun to...
Just enhances it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So...
Which is what we've always said. It isn't. It's not a replacement for anything.
No.
It literally enhances what's already there.
Yeah.
But it's also a journey with yourself individually as well as a
Oh,
couple.
God, yeah.
You learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we would never send a photo to one another, and then now we're sending pictures of everything
I
on...
used to send you photos of my tits.
Not very often, though. Not very often. I see them more now on Discord than I do in real life.
I'm the same.
But yeah, like when we first got on the Discord as well, like I was really nervous to post a picture of myself, and even still sometimes now I look at a photo and I think I don't want to post,
But
and
the
some days I don't
that
post.
It's given us
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
post something, and especially you, because you would never do that. And you, I know good at this and that, but then you got everybody that's on the groups that are so uplifting, and
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to look
they
after one
are.
another. It's like that's a hot photo, so that
Yeah.
builds you up.
And you know it's genuine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like people don't do that just
No, they don't.
willy nilly. It's like
yeah.
it's genuine.
Yeah.
You know, and you do. There's some. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about it is the self confidence it gives to people.
You struggle with the fact of going to the club and stuff like that, you're going to be looked at as a piece of meat. Oh, that's a new person, right, let's jump on.
Yeah.
But we never felt anything
No,
like that, have we?
not really.
That's all. But that was your concern of, well, that's what they're all there for.
I overthink, so
Yeah.
like when we went to the club for the first time, I thought, oh my God, this, like you said, it's going to be keys in a bowl and everybody's just going to be doing everybody. And it was completely the opposite.
I think
completely
you
opposite.
expect to feel like you're a piece of meat, aren't you? That you're there
Yeah.
for people just to pick up and come on, you're with me
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I'm taking you
Yeah.
over the shoulder.
Come on.
I'll pick you.
The
Yeah.
thing is, I think I have done that before to a teller.
Keys in the bowl, I come away with the Skoda.
Yeah.
If they look hard, I'll pick my own keys then. I'll be going out for a while.
The thing is, I am so guilty of the whole body confidence thing. I don't do the posting, do I? Because I think if it was left to me, I wouldn't
do the
do
posting.
it.
Yeah.
I
So
always do the
Mr. N
posting.
always does it. And then it's great because then I'll get messages on WhatsApp saying really sexy photo, and I'm going, okay, thanks.
Because you sometimes don't even look at your photos.
No, I don't.
You just go, oh, does it look okay? Does it look okay? And you do. Still, after this day, we've got millions of photos.
I know. It's one of those things. We're our own worst enemies, aren't we?
I think we're just really self-critical of our own bodies,
Yeah.
but yet you look at other people and you just see them in a different
Yeah.
light. You're like,
Yeah.
gorgeous, look at your curves.
I said to Mr. M this afternoon that the photo you guys put on Discord this week, where I think you'd had a naughty afternoon play or something. Or was it the weekend? I think.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon, yeah.
And I said to Mr. N, freaking hell, that was a hot photo.
That was in between the gardening.
Yeah.
Hot photo.
Down tools, come on.
Yeah. I was doing the gardening and I was like sweating. I was like, oh, I've had enough of this. And he was like, down the tools, just put the bags to the side, let's go up. And I was like, okay, you don't need to tell me twice.
You see, if Alan Titchmarsh should have done that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think I'd like to shame you
Oh, God.
if you don't mind me doing this.
It's normal.
So, dear listeners, the other evening we were home alone and I'd gone to have a bath.
I don't know what's coming now, so this is just looking at my pure fear on my face.
I'd gone to have a bath. Mr. N was upstairs in the bedroom playing on your PlayStation.
I know what's coming now.
Yeah. I lay on the bed with just a towel and I offered Mr. N sex there and then.
I'm absolutely ashamed. Because
Do you know what he was doing?
I know what... She's going to mention the actual game that I was playing at the time.
He was so engrossed in this game that I didn't just offer once, I offered twice. And he still ignored me because he was playing Train Simulator.
I was trying to get this fucking train to go. I spent half an hour train simulator.
But you had the opportunity to put your train in a tunnel, you need to hand it there. Thank you.
I could have been the Flying Scotsman. I couldn't even get the fucking
You were like Thomas the Tank Engine.
I couldn't even fucking get it to move. You have to click buttons and like pull levers. It's like real life sex.
He said he couldn't understand why nobody was getting on his train. I suppose it's because he didn't open the doors to let people on his train.
You have to open the doors to get people on, and then it was too late. You have to do it all in a certain time. I was a fucking useless train driver.
Yes, you were.
And then I missed sex because I went, all right then, forget that. We'll do sex instead.
I was like, no, moment's gone.
So I was left with a train stuck there and Mrs. N gone from the room.
Absolutely. I have named and shamed him now.
There you go.
I feel better.
That was that week.
Well, we went to the zoo Sunday, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we was in the monkey enclosure and it was really busy.
I'm just wondering where this is going.
It was really busy. So I put my arm round Chris and put my head on his shoulder, and then I heard him from the left of me saying, Kate, what are you doing? I was hugging some guy. I just looked at him and I was like,
looking.
I'm so sorry. But the best thing is,
We
my
want a
son was
vanilla
round
diet.
the other side of him. So
he thought he was...
yeah, my son was round the other side of this guy hugging him as well. He must have thought we was right weirdos.
You see, I thought I'd have just got.
Mortified.
I mean, I've been in the supermarket and I've put things in the wrong trolley before.
Oh, I should have that.
Thinking it's Mr. M's trolley and
And
it's
then
not.
they'd be arguing. Till, I don't put that in. But hilarious sometimes you go around just so
But
far.
yeah, I don't think I've ever hugged a stranger thinking it was Mr.
Do you know
M.
what?
That's
Like,
amazing.
this guy was bald with a beard. It looked nothing like him.
That is so not you.
It's nothing like him.
And they've got their glasses on.
Yeah.
Was he smiling? Was he going,
He
yeah?
just looked and he was like, oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Do you know what? The one thing that popped into my mind is that if that had been Sir John and Lady Law would have turned around and said, it's all right, I'm a swinger.
You should have just whispered, vanilla to Vixen.
But yeah, the poor guy, I was so mortified. I was like, but it's when I heard your voice to the left of me and I was like, oh no.
That's
There's a
hilarious.
swinging of a different kind when the monkeys are swinging round. It takes past me you trying to
I think it's very
In the club down.
There was a lot of pineapples like around the zoo, so it was giving off the wrong impression to me.
Yeah.
That is my excuse, and now I'm
You were
sticking
feeling
to
very
it.
at home, obviously.
Yeah.
At least you didn't start stripping off.
Oh God, no.
I think it's very admirable, though, that you were like, what are you doing? I just gone, I think I'm going to watch this and see what happens.
I was, to be honest. I was stood there and I thought to myself, what's going through her head here?
And we go back to it like ears, nothing in between.
I love that. That's hilarious. You do have to watch wherever you take her nowadays. You know that?
I will tell the embarrassing story of you. Seeing as you've shamed me, I'm going to show
Oh
you.
no, that wasn't the deal.
You know what's coming. You know what's coming to this.
I'm not sure.
So we were in shopping in a large supermarket, and Mrs. N decides she needs the toilet.
Oh.
And there was only a disabled toilet free, because I think the normal toilets were like out of order or something. So she goes into the disabled toilet. So I'm standing there with a trolley, and this man comes past, and he's with his wife, and he says, "Oh, I need the toilet." So I'm just standing there like looking bored out my brain, and he goes into the toilet, and it's kind of like a little alcove.
Yeah.
So he goes into the toilet and then just disappears. And literally about 2 seconds later, he comes straight out. And he goes, "Come on, let's go." And I'm thinking, unless you've like pissed in the alcove, there's no way you could have gone in the toilet and come back. And then about 2 minutes later, a furious and enraged Mrs. N comes out and goes, "I've never been so embarrassed in my life. I was in the toilet, sitting on the toilet, and this man just burst in."
As you know, if you've been in a disabled toilet, the doors are miles away from the actual toilet itself.
Yeah.
It was locked, and I was sat there on the throne, as you do, knickers round my ankles, and he literally yanked the door that hard that it opened, and I just went, "Excuse me?" And then he looked and he was just like horrified, and then he ran off, and I was like,
Bless him, the poor bloke must have gone home, never said nothing to his wife, because I was on the outside. He said nothing. He must have been desperate for a piss all the way home. Never said a word.
"There's a time and a place," and that wasn't it.
There you go.
Thanks for that. I've never been in a disabled toilet since. I don't feel safe. I've said to Mr. N, I said, "This is why girls go to the toilets together."
Yeah,
See? So you got somebody
to hold the door.
checking
Is
the
that
door.
true?
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just in case you get locked in and all.
Yeah.
yeah.
It happens. Or the door doesn't lock and your leg's not long enough to keep your foot against the door to stop people from walking in.
It's an absolute minefield. I've never thought about
It's
this.
a nightmare for women now because you're waiting in a queue a mile long for the toilet.
That don't bother
And the
you.
guy, no, you don't. And the guy's toilets, it's just free flowing.
Yeah.
So if I'm out in a club, I will use the men's
I was
toilet.
going to say, I have done that.
I do it all
gone
the time.
stuff this, and I think actually we've done that when we've been on a day out somewhere, and I've just thought, I'm going in the men's.
There's more and more venues now that have got unisex toilets. Like
VA's got unisex toilets.
Clubs, VA's got unisex toilets.
I wasn't freaked out by it being a unisex toilet. What freaked me out is some of the toilets didn't have doors on.
Yeah.
That freaked me out a little bit.
I guess though everyone's kind of seen you fanny in the hot tub.
I know. Do you know? Isn't it weird though? Because it's like you can walk around naked, you can have sex with people, they can do all sorts of things to you, but you cannot sit in the toilet with no door on it in case somebody sees you fanny.
Just imagine you sitting there, everybody walking in, going, "Excuse me."
It's traumatised, honestly.
Oh God.
Oh, bless you. Oh, this is so funny.
So have you been to any other clubs, or is it just Libs you've been to?
We went to the Attic.
Ah, okay.
Since it's moved.
Apparently so, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Because we've been to the Attic,
the old attic,
but we haven't yet had the pleasure of going to the.
Yeah, we went to the Attic.
Was massive, really good night.
That's where it switched and changed.
Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with the club. It was
the people.
But the club is massive.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive.
Yeah.
How did you feel like going to a new club for the first time?
It felt really weird.
Yeah.
It felt like I was cheating on Libs. Yeah.
You do.
It felt really strange.
You become territorial, I think.
You do.
Clubs.
But the thing is, and this is what I love about all the different clubs, is you get a different experience at every single club, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think everybody will always have that one club that is. It's got a place in their heart, hasn't it? But it is good to get those different.
I think we said if we'd have experienced not Libs as our first, we quite possibly wouldn't be here where we are now.
Really?
Because Libs is like kind of
the
Buckingham Palace to the clubs.
Yeah.
I think all the clubs have got their own like little perks, and you know everything's different. But I think because we started at Libs, we had such an amazing like first time, and it was like I really like it here. So you get used to that place.
Clean and everything.
I mean, the attic's clean. I did get stabbed with a staple, didn't I? I don't know what I was doing. But I put my hands down, and my hand went like a staple come through the bed.
PVC type
covering. I got stabbed. But it was only a little bit of, nothing serious. I didn't have to call the ambulance.
Stretch it out to your own,
Keep it raised.
Yeah. But we said...
something
But we said for 2025, we want to visit more clubs because, you know, we've heard really good things about CAMS, and I really want to go to CAMS.
CAMS is interesting.
We've only had the pleasure of going once, haven't we? Haven't had a chance to go back yet.
And the thing, what we've been doing this week is watching YouTube because there's more and more clubs opening.
Yeah.
So there's people on YouTube now doing tours of clubs and going around clubs.
So you can see all the different...
I think that was a good thing about Libs, that I could see a video of how things was beforehand, and it was just a case of walking blind into something that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of research and
thing on there, weren't they?
And we watched that documentary as well.
I mean, the clubs now. We saw. We were watching a tour of Penthouse, and they've spent like millions of pounds, and it's the fastest growing industry. So you're getting like 400 nightclubs a year now closing in the UK, but the swinging clubs, there's more and more opening up, which just kind of shows you like it's like a booming industry. It feels like a brand new industry, but it's not. It's really old since the 70s.
But I think it's probably because of social media and everything else that's out there. It's more readily available for people to find out these things. So it's more in the mainstream, which is great. And hopefully with like our podcast, and we know there's other podcasts out there as well, and there's so much information now, isn't there, that you can find, that it is making it more...
It's interesting to see as well, because like some of the clubs like have snack bars. These full on like...
Oh, I love a snack.
Mrs. N was like, we're going there. And then there was another one where a club, Mirage Club, which we want to try and go to. So there's a Mirage Club in Lincoln. and they've got like 3 acres of land.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It's like this is like huge.
It is.
Can you imagine
I feel-
how many people you'd be able to hold at a summer party
Yeah.
I
there?
know.
That's a lot of parked cars.
It's a
have
good
to
job
have
they've got good car park though. I feel a V2V road trip coming on with the crew.
Definitely. That's brand new. There's another club that's
It is
opened
another club.
just in months.
Yeah.
But these massive places are opening, like, and they seem to be opening every
The
week.
difference in all of them as well, because we also watched the one about the townhouse, didn't we?
Yes.
Which is actually a townhouse.
Oh, is
For
it?
some strange reason, I just considered it was...
A name.
A name. I don't know. It's actually a townhouse. That's
quite
why they call it that. So it's on like 3 floors. And the way that they utilise the space and everything is... It's just every club you go to, I've never seen 2 clubs the same.
Yeah.
At all.
And
So there's great variety.
I think they vary as well. So Townhouse is very kink based.
Yes.
So they've got a lot of dungeons, a lot of sort of kink cages and things.
They've got proper swings in there, and I mean proper swings,
have they?
like you find on a playground swing. I was like, look at that, it's a swing.
You just have to be careful who has to push you.
We have an experience in the swing room and we at least.
Have you tried the swing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
was-
great.
Yeah. Once we
There was a
worked
lot of
out how
like
to get the
clipping
right
and all.
height.
Yeah, you do
clipping.
have to get the right height to it, and if you get the right angle, without going into too much detail.
Yeah.
No, let's go into detail. Because the first time we went in the swing, you weren't forward enough. And my cock was rubbing on because that bit, and I got friction for a week.
It's taken us a couple of goes to get the right angle on that, hasn't it?
Sex swings can be complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to get in, awful to get out of. It's so unladylike to try and get out of one.
Well, we was in there on the one night, and it was like, oh, I'm going as I'm going.
It was the
And
Sunday Sunday, yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of a sudden the music got louder, and I said to her, "That's you, that is, because you're too loud. Then turn the music up." I said, "Yeah, be quiet." So thinks nothing of it. Carries on. Next thing I turn around, there's 2 people. The doors come open, locked it properly, and that's why the music's gone loud. And I just stood there watching us, and I'm like, "Oh, hi."
You were in the moment.
Yeah.
So you didn't even flinch.
I just carried on, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all. We'll leave you to it.
Yeah, it's that moment when, especially when you're at Libs and you're in the big playroom on the big bed, and you're completely lost in what you're doing, and all of a sudden you finish what you're doing, and you look up, and all of a sudden you have everybody watching, and it's like, oh, hi.
My favourite is when I did my tour. I did a tour of the swing room, and I had the most beautiful South American, I think she was Argentinian lady.
You never mentioned this.
She was a stunner. And we go into the swing room, and it's just me and her, like I'm doing tour, she's a single lady. And we went in, and the swing's pretty impressive, isn't it, when you look at it? And because it's like big, like cast iron, spray painted, it all looks really, really cool. Especially built for Libs. And it looks amazing. And we went in there, and I'm like, I always do like my little sort of talk before I do a tour, and I always go, just before I go into the room, I always say to them, I bet you've got one of these at home. And then we go into the room, and they always have a giggle. And we went in, and she's just got a deadpan face, and she went, you show me how it works. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, gentleman stands here, or whoever stands here, and you swing, and you can adjust it. It's adjustable for different heights. Give her the full Monty, not literally the full Monty.
I was going to say, you left that bit out of the story.
But she just looked at the top of it, which is obviously it's like a square frame. And she just looked at it and she went, what do you do at the top? I was like, shit, I've never thought about that. Spread yourself across the top of it. I don't know. And I went, well, you just sit in the swing. And she went, and what do you do with your arms? And I'm like, well, you can hold on to the chains. What do you do with the top bit? She was obsessed with the top. I don't know. I just came in there to keep warm. It don't even work here. Let me go.
That was better than the one I had. So I did a tour, and it was for a single lady who was absolutely lovely, bless her. And we did giggle about this afterwards. And I took her into the swing room to show her the room. And I said, oh, it's all height adjustable and all the thingy. And she stood there and she went, so how many pounds can it hold? Sorry. I just went, oh shit. She says, I'm sorry, I'm an engineer. She said, I literally went into work mode. I was just like, it's like,
She's just looking at the weight bearing.
what's the capacity?
So I'd like to just pause the conversation for just a moment.
What's the reason, Mr. N?
Because over the last several weeks, we've had a new feature on the show called Fun Fact Friday, as some of you may know. And normally we do this at the start of the show. But this week, for a very special reason, I thought we'd kind of do it a little bit later on and include it in the middle of the show.
And there's a good reason for that.
We've got the very person that does Fun Fact Friday with us. This is a big, announcement. So Kat is the researcher for our Fun Fact Friday.
So what is the fun fact today?
So, the fun fact today is every day the heart creates enough energy to drive a truck 20 miles. In a lifetime, that is equivalent to driving to the moon and back. So when you tell someone you love them to the moon and back, you're essentially saying you love them with all the blood your heart pumps your whole life.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, you're not freaked out by that one.
There was no, sick things about armadillo vaginas or swan dicks or anything like that. Oh, well,
What?
we've had things about animals before, but something about beavers or something.
No, it was raccoons.
Oh, I knew it was something.
And dolphins.
Yeah, I knew it was
Yes.
something with fins and teeth. I promise we will have a proper jingle for them, and perhaps you could record them on could do them and send them in.
Yes.
Could
Yeah,
do a
sure.
course on that. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
So have you guys got... Because a lot of people that we talk to have we don't call it a bucket list, they call it a fuck it list almost. A list of things that you've spoken about that you say, I'd like to try this, and this. Or are you more kind of...
We just
If it...
Go with the flow. And
Yeah, if it
Yeah, go
happens,
with the
it
flow.
happens.
we ended
and-
up having our first six-way a couple of weeks ago at Libs.
Wow.
And that was something that we talked about.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
It's great when it just happens, though, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's just...
It was really good, weren't it? Really, really good.
Well, you really enjoyed it.
I felt a saucy and Mr. N moment and that shitty.
Funny enough, that was shouted across the playroom.
I don't think I've really got anything on my list. I'm more of a... If I feel it in the moment, then, yeah, I ain't really got a... I want to
No.
do this or
Would
I want
you
to do
say,
that.
this is probably a bit of a stupid question considering what we're talking about, but would you two say that you are quite adventurous people? You kind of
we've
try
pretty much
anything.
Yeah,
done everything
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the only thing that... I mean, you want to, try a bit of kink, but that ain't for me.
yeah. I'd like to do that, but obviously that's not what
That's
you're
nothing-
interested in.
No.
It's very interesting when you first go to it, because I mean, we had got the same opinion as you, Chris, in as much as we were like, we're going for the podcast, it's going to be interesting, but we're going to get nothing out of this because we'd been told from the very start that kink is intrinsic in you. You know from a very young age if you're a natural kinkster. It's very different to swinging, where you can kind of dip in, dip out, find things sexy. Kink's a very dedicated thing, and all the people there seem to be super,
They were very
tuned in.
dedicated. Yeah, very
Yeah.
dedicated.
Yeah, and we were like, yeah, this is not going to be. But you do come away with. We found elements of it
Yeah.
that were cool.
Yeah, we did.
Mainly the
Sensation play was
sensation
definitely
play.
a thing that we enjoyed.
More so for
Yeah,
the
I like the
sensation
idea
side, not
of,
the kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, whip
It's going
it,
to sound
yeah.
like being it. I just
Yeah.
can't see how that can be pleasurable for somebody. That's how I see it. I
Yeah.
don't see... And you see some of these photos and people are bruised, and so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand that when it...
Yeah.
But that's okay, because that's what you're into. That's fine. But
Yeah.
I just can't do that in my head of why.
Some people just get pleasure from pain, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is, and it's their thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what I love, the fact that so varied.
Lady Selena is the dungeon mistress at Liberty Elite, and she's like an intimidating dungeon mistress. She is a proper dom, isn't she?
Yes.
She's wonderful. And I love the way she just literally looked at me, stone cold, and she went, "You're a swinger, aren't you?" And I went, "Yes." And she went, "You'll grow up one day." I loved it.
Question that I want to ask you guys, Mr. N, which most people will know if they've listened to the podcast, it's very mental for you, isn't it? It's probably not the right way of saying it, but you find you get quite a lot of sexual excitement out of...
It has to be something that turns me on, like a scenario.
So you like a lot of talk. You like talking. You like that
oral.
Yes.
Oral.
we know you
Not as in sucking. Oral as in the ear, but not sticking it in the ear. I'm not explaining myself very well.
Just keep digging that hole.
AU, or as in audio or oral.
Anything like that for you guys, or is it more? So I'm very much I love the sensation. So for me, it's all very sensual. It's all very touching. There's lots of kissing. It's all kind of that. Whereas obviously Mr. N, he likes people to get into his head.
Yeah.
This is just going from bad to worse, isn't it? I'm not explaining it very well at all. What about you guys? How does it work for you two?
I mean, if we've got a good vibe and a good connection with a couple, that's like more than enough for us, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Just that vibe that they give off, and
And
also that's why
obviously
we always get like a social before we even play.
Yeah.
Just to get that connection there, because the players we've had after being friends with somebody, and we've met some really good friends throughout this lifestyle, and the plays just.
I just think it heightens the play when you're comfortable and you can be open enough with another couple, which we never thought never thought this would happen. We thought we'd just come in, go home, but the friends we've made.
Even bothering to want
Did you almost like want it like that in the beginning before you knew? It's like, I don't want to get to know these people. I just want sex. Because there are many couples that say, no, I don't want to get to know them.
I think initially,
You said because I don't. The first thing
I don't want no emotional connection.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
But as it's gone on, we've not gotten any emotional, but the friendships that we've made.
It's a weird one for people to understand, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can trust that couple implicably to.
It's an amazing feeling when you've got that. I mean, we've said ourselves, haven't we, since we've been in the hobby, the friendships that we have now. I would be heartbroken if we didn't have those. And that is more important to us than actually the naughty side of it.
And sometimes we've gone into Liberty Elite and you think, I suppose from an outsider's point of view, you think you're going to go in, this is going to be super sexy, lots of people having sex. And then sometimes we've gone in there and like poured our heart out to friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can go from 1 minute to then suddenly seeing someone flash by you with like just in this most beautiful just lace number, and you're going, oh, back to thinking about tits again.
It's not all about the sex side.
No, it isn't.
And I think that's people's perception of swinging is just down to people shagging and that's it. But it's not. It's
I think a lot of the conversations that go on in the clubs and stuff, nothing sexual at all.
No.
I mean, our first time we went, there were a couple that took us under their wing. We were talking about camping.
This is true. I think that was just a play.
Oh, really?
I think it was just a play.
Is that?
Yeah.
I'm so naive.
I think, yeah. I think she was. She was just trying it on with you, Mrs. N.
Oh, shucks.
But yeah, our like friends we've got outside of the hobby, you're limited to what you can talk to them about because you know.
So you guys aren't like open.
No,
not fully.
No. I mean, it don't really bother me if anyone knows. It's like, well,
have you actually thought about telling people and going,
So I have got a friend. She lives up in Scotland, and she was the first person that I told.
Okay. Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
She used to live next door to us, and she split up with a chap and moved up to Scotland.
Yeah.
So I was like, go on, tell her, because
who's she going to tell? She's in Scotland.
On her own, but it was just that release of actually
Bless
being able
her.
to speak
Yeah.
to somebody and tell them what we'd
Yeah.
experienced, and it was like a
And
big weight to lift.
she was amazing about
Yeah.
it, weren't her?
Yeah.
She was like, you know what, that's brilliant. Like, it's probably not for her. But she was like, good for you.
That's lovely.
That's
know.
so nice.
But we turned the table with her. Of she come to a social with us at Leeds for Sarah and Jim's social at the beginning
That's
of March,
so cool.
and she won on Fab or Swing or anything like that. She
We
got
got her
herself on
on,
there.
You groomed her well.
Yeah,
No, but it was just for her. It was like just to see what it's like. I don't know if she'll go into the lifestyle
Yeah.
completely, and that's okay. But
she has
You
put
know,
Just being
somebody
curious
through it.
itself
she's met friends and people to actually socialise with on Fab. So if she didn't go to clubs or whatever,
Yeah.
she's got that.
friends because-
She's took that
That's
away. So
brilliant.
We went to see her in January, and I was ecstatic that we'd gone up and seen her because I was like very lonely on her own, and finally it's hard to socialise. And we had the conversation of, well, do we tell her about Fab? Do we tell her about, because it's a completely different world to what she's used to.
Yeah.
And that must be very hard. She's telling you how isolated she's feeling,
Yeah.
and you've got this massive circle of friends, and so I suppose that's difficult. You automatically want to share that, don't you?
yeah, because you know our lives massively changed socially
If
because
you'd have asked us a question this time last year of what we'd be doing in 12 months, this would definitely not be an answer of what
it
we'd be
wouldn't have
doing.
even crossed my mind. But yeah, to come from like not really going out a lot to all the amazing people that we've met, and like with her being up there, I mean, she's not completely lonely, but it's something for her to say, and
yeah.
she's quite open-minded anyway, bless her. And yeah, she's met decent people through it.
I mean, you say that she's fairly open-minded. So, did you think that she would be able to sort of take that information that you've given her and she'd be kind of okay with it, or
I knew she'd be okay with it anyway, but like when I told her and she was like, good for you, like as long as you're happy and as long as you're safe.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, when she used to go out and like go to socials or whatever, and she'd text me, she's like, because we've got that Life 360.
Yeah.
Because yeah, so she'd text me and she'd be like, I'm going out, I'm leaving the house, can you just check? You know? And I'm
Just in case she gets abducted.
if anything happens, like, I'm down here, you're up there, so we kind of like, we come up with
Yeah.
like a code, so, you know, I could cut, but she's never had to use it, so she's doing fine.
bless her.
But yeah.
I told
awesome.
my friend who's a guitarist.
Oh, you did.
So I've got a friend who's a guitarist, and bless him, he's just gone through a pretty difficult time. He's just lost a parent, and so he's only a young guy. And in the heartfelt moment, I decided to come out and tell him what I'm doing, you know, because the last time we spoke, I was full-time in music, and obviously last couple of years things have changed a little bit. So I told him what I was doing, and his first thing he did was just laugh. And then when he kind of like realised I wasn't joking, he was like, holy shit. And after he stopped laughing, ha 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 ha, and he realised that I was serious in what I did, he actually listened to the podcast, and he listened to 30 seconds of it, and he went, he phoned me up. I laughed that he actually phoned me up and went, I've just listened to 30 seconds of your podcast, dude. He went, I can't listen to it, man. He went, I just heard you talking about something about anal beads. He says it's like listening to your brother having sex. I don't want to know. I fucking love that guy. I love him, but he can't listen to the podcast. There you go.
It's funny how people's reactions can be so different,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I mean, I'll speak to my friends, like I'll never like speak in depth of any details or whatever, but it's nice to have somebody outside of the hobby
Yeah.
to speak to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously there's a lot of people that we know.
Pretty much everybody now.
But my work don't.
Yeah.
So they know bits. They know that we do events.
I think a lot of them pretty much.
They probably
I think
do.
they're just being polite.
And I don't know
Mrs.
why,
N.
because there was a golden opportunity. So one of my really, really close friends, was completely fascinated by the whole thing. She was, I didn't even know places existed. It's like that kind of level that she's on. And she said, not that it would make any difference to me if you were one.
So I'll take that as she knows.
She knows.
I know.
100%
But for some
knows.
reason, I stopped myself from saying, well, yeah, I am. And I don't know why I stopped. There was a nervousness to me because it was a bit, it's not that I don't trust her, because I do trust her 100%. But I felt like my workplace is the only place that still doesn't really know. And I just thought, if I let this one out, where is that going to go?
Yeah.
And I just don't know whether I was ready for that.
Yeah.
I
understand that.
I think now, if one of them came up to me and said, have you done such and such or whatever, I'd go, yeah. I mean, I've been
listen to episode 56 about anal beads.
Yes, I've been working up to it, because I did mention that we went to another club to have a look around and said we'd been invited, and I did say that I got propositioned by a very young gentleman. And they brought it up at lunch the other day, and I'd forgotten that I'd told them. And one of the girls just said, any more meets with the young man? And I'm thinking, I haven't shagged him since then. Did I tell them I did that? And then it clicked. It's having to remember what you tell some people and what you don't. I mean, obviously you guys know, our kids know.
Yeah.
You have kids. How do you navigate that?
It's awkward, isn't it?
There's a story there.
So he's only young, and he's 13. So
But he's been here before. Done it, seen it. He's reincarnated.
Old head on young shoulders.
Oh god, yeah.
Definitely.
We put him to bed. Usually, once he gets to sleep,
The bomb would drop and blow the house up. He'd still be lying in the bed. You wouldn't know.
And it was about 11:30 at night, and we was having, where you have your chit chats about the hobby and this, having the other,
meets and stuff
and
like
on
that.
about couples that we'd like to play with. But when we went upstairs, I just looked in his room and he was awake, and I was like, oh my god. And with a couple of weeks after, we was at our friends and we was chatting away to them, and he was on the living room floor with their kids. And he just pipes up, Mum and Dad want to go and play with their friends. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what do I do? And then my friends are like, because they're quite switched on, aren't they? And then they started going on about keys in a bowl, and I was like, whoa, what are you on about? I was like, I'm on about playing poker.
Friday night, we had some friends come round, have a takeaway, some beers, and have a game of cards and get pissed on Friday nights. And we was like, but that's what we do, mate. We play with other people when we're playing poker, and that's what it's all about.
And he's like, oh, well, okay. I don't think he believes me.
Oh.
It wasn't a lie, though. It was just a different kind of poking.
You see, the problem with me is my face tells everything.
Yeah.
I am the worst liar ever.
And this is why I think your friend knows all about it.
So now you've said that, I'm beginning to think, oh yeah, they do, don't they? They really do.
I like the secret side of it.
Yeah.
You see, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
We really liked it because it's yours. It's something you've got together.
Well, I work in a male-dominant job.
Yeah.
So for me, it'd be great to share with my friends. Well, by the way, this weekend I went to knob this girl, that girl. And it'd be great to say.
Pass round like a lollipop.
But on the other side, it wouldn't be like that. And then, but when you're going on a Monday morning, what do you get the weekend? I've got that secret of thinking, you want to know what I got for the weekend?
They would be living their lives through.
But that's what it would be. But I want it to be 10 million questions all the time, every weekend. Or what do you get? What? And it's ain't about.
It is funny how some people's reactions are, because at work there's a guy that I work with who is adorable and we love him to bits, and I told him and he was just like, and? Whereas my really close friend was just like, right, I want to know this, and this.
That's the difference between a male and a female.
Yeah. And so the reactions you get are just completely, you never know which way they're going to go, do you?
No.
But it is interesting.
I think you have also as well, as we've been in the naughty hobby, you get a level of understanding, obviously, that somebody on the outside hasn't got.
Yeah.
And so you can get a certain amount of kind of like immaturity.
It's that whole thing of they're not educated. They don't actually understand for what it is. It's that whole myth again
Yeah.
of what they think it is.
Yeah.
Another one of my friends, we did get a little bit of immaturity when I decided to kind of come out.
Yes.
Didn't I? And,
did.
Yeah, and that didn't get down too well. But yeah,
Yeah, bless him.
you just have to kind of pick who you tell, I think.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Like I said,
definitely
it doesn't bother me. Who knows? It's my business, not you
Exactly,
know.
and I think that's a really good attitude to have. I think that's a very healthy attitude to have, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it is about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's your life. And like we've said many a time, you're not hurting anybody.
exactly. I mean, we share the experiences together. Because that's
Yeah.
what we want. That's what, you know.
It's definitely, look, before there was nothing wrong with our relationship whatsoever, and nothing wrong with our sex life, but it's enhanced it and it's excited it more so of what we're doing now.
Yeah, I'm so pleased you said that, because whenever you see the swinging programs on Channel 4, Channel 5, everybody has to be damaged, or don't they, to go into the lifestyle. Everybody has to have a story. It's almost turned into like X Factor for swingers. Unless you're like bawling your eyes out.
Well, that was another factor of we'd watched that open house, and that kind of got us talking of coming into the lifestyle and stuff, and thinking, well, we've seen that, but knowing to us that programme is shit.
Yeah.
We've now rewatched
Thank
it.
you. Thank you very much.
we rewatched it.
And we're going, why on earth he's telling her that for?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
don't. You
she's
shouldn't
like,
be doing that.
You know, separate, and you're like, these people are struggling to
Come
do it
together.
together. Like,
Yeah.
why would you separate them?
Yeah. And there's no, for me, there's no education on it. So she's not gone, okay, well, there are couples where it's separate, swap, and joint or foursome kind of thing. You might find that that's not for you. She's literally just encouraged them. You go off down there and fuck him. You go off down there and fuck her. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah.
I think it was more so for the viewings, though. I think,
of course it is.
Seriously, as a coach,
Well,
he's not going to say
They
that.
sensationalise it, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they want.
They want the viewings.
They want the viewings.
You've
You
got
know.
a couple that don't trust each other,
Yeah.
and then they're going off separate, and then they come back, and it's like, well, and then it's World War III. About it.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
And
It shouldn't be happening.
anybody that is in the hobby, genuinely in the hobby, would know if there was a couple that was in that kind of position, you wouldn't go anywhere near them.
No.
Because you wouldn't want to put them in a position that could
And
damage them.
our advice to them is always the same: that if there's a chink in your relationship, this hobby will find it.
It will.
Yeah.
And it will just rip it apart.
Absolutely.
So don't do it. Just go
That was
away.
probably one of our biggest fears.
Yeah, because I thought, like, what if we've been together like 20 years, married for, I have no idea, because I don't even know when my anniversary is.
You say that, but I always say to her, when do we get married? Oh, I don't know. I even had the year inscribed in the bottom of the ring.
Well, yeah, we've been married for like, I don't know, 7-8 years. I don't know.
It's 9 years this year.
Well, anyway, but I didn't want to come into the hobby and ruin our marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to do that. So before I've got any inkling of I need to back out, like I'd rather lose the lifestyle than lose my husband.
Absolutely.
You know,
it
it's
is,
not worth it.
It's a huge thing to do.
Yeah.
I think we looked at each other after our first meet when you'd had sex with somebody else for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think we said that could have ruined our marriage.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you are educated a little bit before you go into it, and you're both on the same page, that minimises the risks, I think.
It does, although saying that, as usual, with our first meet, it was only going to be a blowjob anyway.
That's true.
That kind of went out the window.
But yeah.
But I think because we knew each other so well, we could read each other, because we never had an actual conversation to say, are you happy if we go further?
Yeah.
We could read each other, that we were both comfortable. And in fairness, if it hadn't been for Mr. N, it probably would have just been a blowjob, because I don't think I would have taken the first step to say, yeah, I just want to go and shag this guy. It was the fact that you said,
do you want to?
Because you could see how much I was enjoying it. And I thought because you had said it...
I think it would have been a regret. I think...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do still have a regret about that night.
Oh, okay.
And I do know that he does listen to the podcast. And he has promised me.
This is turning into Mrs. N's request.
Sorry. You know who you are. One of my boundaries when we very first met was that no kissing, because I felt it was too personal. Mr. N always finds this hilarious because it's like he can go and lick somebody's pussy or whatever else, but don't snog her. And he was just like, I don't get that. I mean, obviously it doesn't work that way anymore. He says, oh yeah, go on, you can have a snog, you can do what you want. But for me, it was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure how I'd feel about kissing somebody else
to begin with, and it was like, that's too intimate, even though you're just going to be doing.
See?
But
Just see? Now, I said to him, why does it bother you to kiss somebody else because it's too intimate? You don't even fucking kiss me. I was like, so does it matter?
But that was one of my regrets afterwards. I was like, I really wish that...
Yeah.
Because I think I learned the type of intimacy that I like is that the whole sensualness, the kissing, the closeness. Yeah. It makes the whole experience...
It's still sensual, but it's not love, is it?
No, not at all.
And that's what I was trying to... You struggled to differentiate the love side of having sex and just having sex, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference.
I know the difference, but I think like when we was new to it was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm married, I should be just with my husband.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, but do you think that is because that's how we're conditioned to think?
Yeah.
But then you go along, and we've had some absolutely amazing experiences, and we've both walked away and was like, that was fucking hot.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what it is, but then we'll do our normal week and forget about it.
Then together, I'm sure you get that reclaimed sex. That brings you really
amazing
close.
reclaims.
It is.
And when you go, that's your experience together. That's just something that you know about.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it really hot.
I
I nearly made you crash on the motorway a couple of weeks
you
ago.
read my mind there. I was just about to say that story. We come out of Libs and we'd had an amazing night with an amazing couple. And
just soft play, it was perfect,
yeah,
weren't
there was
it?
no full, it was just soft and it was great, we had a great time. Coming back up the motorway, I was like, put my hand over and have a bit of a feel, and usually it goes, fuck off, stop it.
I was really horny.
But you was horny, were you? So, literally, just got a little bullet vibrator that we got in the sex bag, and has got her feet on me dash. and there it is, pleasuring herself while we're going down the motorway. I mean, if it was daylight, anybody that's seen would have seen what I was doing. But at 3 o'clock in the morning...
He'd never let me put my feet on the dash.
But because I couldn't be bothered to get my dress on to go home...
It was the night.
That was the night, yes! I was
night.
just in my underwear and my sex coat, as he calls it.
Oh, do you know what? We've been to McDonald's many a time when I've just been in underwear.
Yeah, this is true.
You just go to that.
But yeah, I thought he's going to kill me. It was in my car, actually. Was he? I can't remember. But yeah, I'd got my heels was digging in the dash.
Oh,
and
God,
I was like,
you're right.
I want to cross my legs.
Because it was on the motorway, we missed the turning for the services. So we couldn't pull up on the service car park and get in the back.
Yeah,
so we had to wait till we get home.
I mean, it's like 40 minutes, and I'm like, just put your foot down.
But it's things like that, and it's such good fun as well.
But there's cameras everywhere. We've got to kind of like nothing's on show. And then when we got back, it was amazing.
I think that is one of the other things that I absolutely love about this hobby is that it is just such good fun.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that, but that's what it's about. It's about having fun.
Yeah. And that's when you said to me about, well, why do you want to do this? Why do you want... It's just a bit of fun to add to what we're doing. It's fun. It is
escapism as well, because obviously day-to-day life, you get bogged down. You know, it's hard. Life is hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be able to just escape for a few hours and have naughty fun. I mean, what more could you ask for to have a bit of naughty fun?
Yeah. And then go to work Monday morning.
And then exactly. With the biggest
through the week.
Went and seen some friends, went out, had a few drinks. That was it. Not knowing that we've been involved in what we've done.
Well, obviously, like our families and friends are like, well, you go out quite a lot. And I'm like, yeah, we do.
But
why not just
friend in Scotland. That's our excuse.
Yeah, we just use her as
She's
an
coming back
excuse.
down, and luckily,
Nice.
Yeah, we
Nice.
just use her as an excuse. So and our Bobby's like, you don't like it.
and luckily, with Lib's being where it is, when she come over into the country, she lived in Rugby. That's where she first started. So it's the excuse of, well, she's made a load of friends there. That's why we come down
like that. You're
Yeah.
and
perfect.
see. So it's
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
an
you
excuse.
devious
Oh
pair.
no. Yeah.
But you're out every weekend. You're in the middle of the week some nights for a social.
You know, we've done our marriage and looking after a child and a dog and the home. Like, I want more fun now.
That I think that is a big part of it. Is you know, it's people about a certain age, and it's like, okay, we want to have a bit of fun. You've done you know, you've done the mum thing and the dad thing and everything, and it's like, this is your chance to actually live life. I think we could appreciate it more as well than in our 20s. Like, you know,
Exactly. I just feel like the whole thing has so much positivity around it.
Yeah.
You know, what we were talking about really early on about, you know, your body confidence and everything, what it does for people.
Yeah.
And meeting like-minded people who are so honest. Instead of all that usual, you know, somebody's telling you something, but you know for a fact it's a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to hide behind that.
It's a lot more open. Like, we've made a lot of good friends, and
Some really good friends.
it's just, you can chat to them about anything. Like, I can't talk to my friend about any of this.
yeah.
You know, she'd probably be mortified. But yeah, it's nice to have people that share the same
And check in on
hobby.
you.
Yeah, and check in on you.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can check in on them.
Yeah,
And
we was at Libs the other weekend, and we was just sat. The hot tub was ramajamma, so we come back out. We sat in the towels in the bar, and we just sat talking. And Saucy and Buster come over. Are you all right? Like, yeah.
Just
We're
checking
saying,
in,
we're
and it's
checking in.
like-
Are you okay? And we're like,
Yeah,
we just
it's
can't get in the hot tub.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
But
lovely.
it's just that to come and say, you okay? And,
Yeah.
and stuff.
it is. But even with like on our Discord group and everything, if we have been a little bit quiet, we always get people that will message just checking in, you're okay.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
everything all right?
I can't. I'm just going to say now, I can't think of any two nicer people that you'd rather have on our crew.
Oh,
than you two
absolutely.
guys.
Yeah.
It's
We've had you pair in mind for quite a while. We didn't want to scare you off. But we've groomed you nicely, so I'm quite happy.
So are you looking forward and excited to giving people tours and?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'll be really nervous.
No, you'll be fine.
What if I do it wrong?
Oh, you can't do it
Do
wrong.
it wrong,
You should
Renee.
watch the step.
Yeah, you can't do it wrong.
Just get that bit out. After
Yeah.
that, it's like whatever.
But yeah, we've all been there ourselves
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
newbies, so
Yeah.
you know, you can appreciate how they feel,
Yeah.
and it's okay to be nervous.
Yeah, because we would have been in that position of coming into this without knowing anything at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we can share that experience with somebody to say, well, this is how we started, and this is how this, and give them that, and then that's up to them how
Yeah.
they want to explore that night, and
Yeah.
that's up to them.
You wait till you've done your first tour with your newbies, and then later on you see them either in the hot tub or on the big bed. You'll stand there, you'll be like, I'm so proud.
Just beaming with pride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go.
The mother in you will come out
Yeah.
like, you go over to him, "You okay?"
Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah, don't do what I do. I have this awful thing of walking in the big playroom sometimes and just going to everybody, it's just like so inappropriate. Don't do
Look at
that.
that. You see that 69? I did that.
Yeah. So if anybody did want to get in contact with you guys on Fab or Discord or whatever else, what is your...
But the Sexy Mother Truckers
Yeah.
on
Yeah, sexy mother truckers. It's underscore in it.
underscore
Yeah.
after Sexy, yeah.
Cool.
So it's on
Yeah.
Fab and Swingle, or we're on the Discord as Mr. and Mrs. Mother Trucker.
Yeah.
Awesome.
On
They
the-
may want to send messages just to say how fab you were, which is always nice. People always
Yeah.
get messages once they've been on the podcast, don't they? So,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is lovely. So,
But our DMs are always open
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
That's
so if we need to
nice.
translate anything, we're more than happy to.
everybody Everybody will be messaging you when it's your anniversary saying,
Yeah.
it's your anniversary today.
Oh, do you know what? The one year I was fuming with him because for my anniversary, I think it was like the first or second year. You know, you expect like lingerie, something nice. No, he bought me an iron and an ironing board. I was fuming.
She
Thing
did
is,
ask.
though, I'd be really excited about it.
I did ask, like, what do you want? And I don't want nothing. And it's like, well,
That's a
something that I
trap.
can use.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
You know,
I did.
wine, chocolate, like biscuits. Not an iron and an ironing board. You could have sold it to
books.
the.
We need one. I thought.
Hey, listen, one Christmas, Mr. M bought me a Hoover.
Yeah, but what was inside the Hoover bag?
It was an eternity ring.
I bought a Hoover, and inside the Hoover bag, but it kind of didn't work out because I thought, well, she'll open the Hoover and go, "Ooh, Hoover for Christmas." But she just went,
really exciting.
she was like, "This is really fucking cool."
So that was
2 years ago, he bought me a spot cleaner, didn't you?
Yeah,
A what?
A Dr. Rug spot cleaner. For,
Oh, yeah.
On the,
I bought a Rug Master.
Rug Master, that was it, yeah.
that was the I was hoping for. Oh, great, and he was like, "Fuck, you bought me them."
Oh, bless you. Thanks so much, guys. It's been absolutely brilliant having
welcome.
you here. I don't think this is going to be the last time we have you on the podcast.
I think
I hope
backed
not, anyway.
by popular demand. I think.
Absolutely. And we will see you tomorrow for your first tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing 6 parties in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's the Naughty Hobby Tour. Starts tomorrow with Cosmic Connections.
it does.
Then we've got the Mansion collaboration on the 26th of April. I think that's just about full. We have got a couple of cancellations, so there's just a couple of spaces
left.
Then we've got the Velvet Vixen weekend,
Yes.
where we've got Friday and Saturday. It's a beautiful hotel in Bewdley.
Then we've got...
Easter.
No, you've missed Easter completely, Mr.
I
Ed.
don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Easter came way before then.
I'm just going to get in the bus and just go.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
The scenario of the chicken and the egg.
Yeah. As long as it's a chocolate egg, that's fine by me. Oh no, and not in a bad way, I mean.
If you want any of our dates, just go on vitav.uk. vitav.uk. Don't listen to us. We just talk shit.
Not had a drink or anything.
Guys, thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for
My
having
pleasure.
us. Yeah.
Can't
We've
wait
enjoyed it.
Can't wait to see you at the party.
Yes.
See you later, guys.
Take care. Bye.